out of this movie, I think we all need a couple minutes to breathe. I've had about 2 hours. I think I'm ready to talk about this movie. Let's go see Joker. Joker, based on the DC character, depending on who you talk to, either did by Bob Kane or a couple of other people. This is not your typical comic book movie. There's no one with superheroes, there is no CGI, there is no space creatures who are trying to collect colorful pebbles. There is no twerking or whatever the hell that was that Shazam did in his movie. This is exactly what it advertised itself as. It advertised itself as a character study. And it definitely is. And an origin story for the Joker. The movie's about a character named Arthur Flick who has mental problems. And basically it's a story about how through various elements he becomes the Joker. This movie's really good. It is disturbing. Some of the acts of violence are very, very visceral. There's also the thought of the untrusting narrator. This movie is told through the Arthur Flick's eyes. So you will see things happen and you will sit down and think to yourself, okay, sometimes you will think you know what's happening when you really don't, because this is a mentally sick person. He is on many drugs. He goes to a government-sponsored therapist. And all of this is in the trailer, so none of this is spoiling you. The violence is very, very stark. Like when it happens, it happens. And they are not afraid to hold on to it. This is directed by Todd Phillips, who did The Hangover. He's done a couple other movies. I'm not a huge fan of the Hangover stuff. This also stars Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, but without a doubt, this is a one-man performance by Joaquin Phoenix. And he embraces the mental breakdown of the Joker. He embraces the fact that, yes, Arthur has problems. He has mental problems. He has problems with his illusion on the real world. He has problems connecting to people. He has problems interacting with people. He also has a serious nervous tic that will cause him to laugh at that. They also give you an origin story about the laugh. He has a sickness where he was where he will do that for uncontrollable reasons. And I was trying to sit there, this was my first time watching it, I was trying to sit there trying to figure out, maybe that's his emotional tic to when he's nervous or when things are going bad or when he's going violent, but it just seems to be a tic that just happens out of nowhere. The movie was wonderfully shot in New York. I was literally sitting there going, okay, I know where that place is, I know where that train station is, that's Coney Island, that's 125th Street, that's Bedford Park, that's 167th Street in the Bronx. And it's made to look authentic. This is a movie that is a period piece. It takes place during the 80s. And it looks the 80s. This is how detailed this movie is. Even the font in the opening, closing, looks like it's from the 80s. The TV sets are genuine. The sets are genuine. The clothes look early 80s, so some of it looks still 70s inspired, but definitely there's no like mid or late 80s stuff. Like, you're not gonna see people hanging around in leather and shit like that. This is squarely placed in one field. It's also gonna be interesting to Joaquin Phoenix stole the show. It will be interesting to see how the beats go with other people. Especially because it seems almost like the first half is about a mentally disturbed person, and the second half, not even really the second half, the last 20 minutes become about a revolution. And actually it kind of builds towards that way through one action, and it's fun to see, without spoiling it, an action influencing a movement that influences the person who does the action. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Also, there are parts in this movie is very rewatchable, especially because you will see scenes and you're like, okay, this is what's going on, and then a little bit later you'll realize, oh, that didn't really happen. Because once again, the untrustworthy narrator is the reason for that. Robert De Niro was fine playing his character. Zazie Beetz was alright. I kind of wish she had a little bit more. Also, I think I understand a lot of people are going to be talking more about the last 20 minutes, about 20-25 minutes, as a rallying cry. But it also is funny that no one's talking about, like, this is a man, Arthur Flick, who is having everything crumble down on him. There are times in this movie where let me compare it to another movie that I really love, one of my favorite movies of all time, Christine, the 2016 version. Even so much so, there's a scene that mimics Christine in this movie, and I found that very interesting. So this is a guy who already has problems. He's a traveling, or he's a performance clown who has this weird laughing nervous tick where even the people who work with him are like, yo, you're weird. To all the way to just layer after layer of bad things happening to this already unstable person. And I don't think enough people are talking about that. They're just like, oh, he's mentally unstable. But this is a man who's being, literally shit on. I mean, not literally, figuratively shit on. And there is a reveal about halfway through the movie where you realize something about him and his whole life. If I'm going to say anything bad about this movie, it did feel sluggish. For a 2-hour movie, it felt longer. One of the reasons for that is Todd Phillips likes to hold on to shots. There are a lot of scenes in this movie where it's just Joker performing for himself. And yes, I get that's the narrative. But at the same time, it felt a little slow. That's about it, though, as for the bad. Don't go into this movie expecting Batman, because he's not in it, somewhat. This isn't about Joker trying to do some dastardly crime on Gotham City. This is about a broken, mentally disturbed person getting tired of being buried, being abused, and not having the recourse to go, well, maybe this isn't the best of ideas, and just fulfilling it. I will say this, the last speech in the movie, or the big speech in the movie at the end, I can see that inciting a lot of people. Especially I can see that being the manifesto for a lot of people, because for most of the movie, in the background until the last 25 minutes, or more or less, this is a movie about class. This is a movie about rich people saying, hey, I'm rich, I used to be poor, maybe, and I look at where I am. You people over there, you're not trying hard enough. And finding one disturbed person who makes it his vendetta. Yeah, that's what I have to say about Joker for non-spoilers.